It is 6:30 and this meeting is called to order. Are there any additions or deletions this evening? No additions or deletions. Okay, moving on to the minutes of December 2nd, 2024.
I'll make a motion.
A second.
Please look them over so you can see anything. Not hearing anything? All those in favor of approving the minutes from December 2nd?
Aye.
Aye. On to pay orders for December 17th, 2024. There's an addition of $200 from Bells of Joy. Yes. Bringing the total up to $69,484.53. We hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay. Please look them over. Not hearing anything, all those in favor of approving the pay orders as of December 17th?
Aye.
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 Abstain,
Abstain? Okay.
because I'm on there.
Oh. Well, I think we're good with it. Great. Royal Commissioners report.
Oh, not anything too exciting. They're working on a plow. They got that finished up this week, so that's back running. Had a couple little fender benders with plows. The other one I'm not sure what the insurance is doing with. I haven't heard of that yet.
Yep.
I know.
The adjuster was down there last week.
Yep, he was down there just after I left. Other than that, I know they had, I don't know if anybody else got a call, but they didn't plow Wallingford Pond Road. Didn't clean it up. It was slushy, so I think they went up today. They were supposed to. I got a call on it yesterday. They sent them up today to clean that up. But other than that, I think basically there hasn't been a whole lot going on. It's been a little mellow this week, finally, from the storm. I don't know what else there was other than that.
There seems to be
budget.
something with 3519 Hartsboro Road.
What's this now?
Charlie knows about it. We got a request for beware hearing impaired sign on Hartsboro Road.
Okay.
Somebody requested on behalf of their mother. I asked Charlie if it's in the triangle area down there,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Are there any stipulations or policies that we do for when we enact those signs, or? Is that 35 or 25 on that?
35, I think. Might be 30 there though.
Okay.
Triangle. You're talking where Homer Stone and Ice Bed and,
Yeah.
or Hartsboro.
Yeah.
Not Homer Stone, I'm thinking Lower.
Yeah, it's near the triangle.
I just don't know if what that will do. I think like a slow, if we wanted to make it like 25 for that one from like 7 until the triangle, that might be something that we'd have to think about. That would be something enforceable. This is not
You
enforceable.
have to do a survey, wouldn't you?
Right. I remember that.
Traffic survey?
Now, if we put up the sign, do we have to do a survey for that?
I don't know. That I
No.
couldn't.
I don't think so.
All right.
I mean, being a town road, we don't have to the town doesn't have to do a,
If it's
Speed
a
survey
class
to-
3, you would, but that's.
That's
quite
2.
full. Huh?
Class 2, isn't it?
Which one?
Hardsboro.
Hartsboro?
Yeah, is there, 3 is dirt.
No, that's 3,
I know.
Creek Road is 2.
Brick Road's 2, 140 is 2.
I thought we had to do a speed
Maybe
survey
it is, I don't know. But
anytime
we
we
gotta
lower
plow
the
it.
speed limit.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought so too.
Yeah, I think we do. It's not, I mean, it's not a simple process.
Right,
Lower the speed.
right.
I just, it's, would be nice to bring that, that's just one of those things like where we could put that up, but where do we get the data to say that it's effective and it's going to actually change things?
What's the
We have
cost of
other
some?
requests of like kids playing and stuff like that. And
Right.
in the past, we haven't.
Haven't done it. All right.
I mean, we could ask the sheriff what his opinion is at an upcoming meeting, because
Okay.
they've given us advice on the kids playing, and I know for those, they're not big fans of that.
Well, why don't we, ask? And then we'll come up with the final decision later. Okay. Anything else, Phil?
Nope, not.
All right.
Budget
Thank
issues.
you. Yeah, yes, there's more to be continued. Moving on to honorable mentions. Kevin Mulholland of Vermont Forgings for offering to restore the boilerplate statute for material costs. And Justin Jenkins for technical assistance with the municipal website. Is it? No, I don't think I see anyone here for public comments. So we will move on to zoning regulations adoption update.
Right. The question we have, and it was brought up, because the statutes do not address Australian ballot. So my question is, when do the zoning regulations take effect? And Sandy and I have both inquired of the Vermont League of Cities and Towns, and the answer was legalese and very vague, as it would be, and I believe you all have that correspondence. So the Planning Commission would like to formally request the Select Board, based on voter approval on the 5th of November, to please approve it.
And this would take a motion, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then my understanding is the 2 regulations would be in effect for 100, well, no, it would take effect immediately.
The zoning would take effect immediately. Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you like to proceed?
I think we vote. We
Alright.
vote on the, yeah, because it just seems like,
Because the voters have approved it.
well, voters have approved it, and then also in this part is saying, where is this?
150 days after you have
Yeah.
public hearing, and the 150 days are coming up, and you have to do
Gotcha.
something within 150 days.
Gotcha.
And then also that was likely not legally binding.
Right.
Doing probably the vote on zoning laws.
Gotcha.
So that's something we want to make sure.
Yes. So is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to vote in the zoning regulations that were approved at the general election on November 5th.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor? Putting on zoning?
Used to be the people voted on it. I don't know why it's not now.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but right now I asked for all those in favor.
Oh.
All those in favor of approving the zoning? Aye.
So sorry.
That's okay. I said discussion, I didn't hear anything, so
Oh, that was discussion.
that was a comment, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is there anything that we should put, because that was such a contentious thing,
Yep.
because that was right at the beginning, I think, of when I came on and when you, yeah, that was really the Australian ballot stuff. So I wonder if there's some kind of, do they have any?
They must have changed the law.
They
Well,
did.
no, yeah,
They
but
did,
I'm just
yeah.
wondering if there's any, any, sorry, any language that we can put out there to say, you know, last legislation passed this, that the Australian ballot, just so that we
Right.
cover our butts when
Well, I
people
think
start
we-
talking
I
about
think we
why are we
have.
doing this.
I don't think we're in, I mean, they approved it.
Right.
We just followed up to approve it. I don't think there's any
No,
explanation needed on our part on why we
This
redid
is,
it.
no, that part I don't think we have no need to justify that. It's more about going forward, people ask, why aren't we doing this by Australian ballot? Just
Right.
having language ready to go.
All right.
Oh, okay.
There, not completely
Right.
unrelated to
No.
this,
Right, okay.
just saying like, because that was such a contentious thing and such a.
And we'll need to, because we're gonna be doing the town plan, too.
Exactly.
Right,
So,
exactly.
It's exactly right, Justin.
And my understanding is the state legislature basically said that any piece of, anything that's already approved and is changed, according to what the BCLT wrote to us, was, it's an amendment, and amendments are select board, not Australian ballot. In other words, there are pretty much, my understanding is, and obviously I am not a lawyer, is that Australian ballot no longer is required or can be done for the regulations and the town plan. And everything, because this is an elected body, and therefore, once the elected body says it's approved, it's approved.
Okay.
But I am still investigating the town plan. We have 18 months, and I will get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
And I wonder, yeah, the idea of that amendment, if it's, does that just mean that if there's a document that already has that name in our documents, like if that means that anytime we make a change, even if it's a whole complete change to it, is that an amendment or is that a new document?
Actually, that was my question.
Yeah.
And she said it's an amendment, even if it is a new entire document.
Okay.
But of course, that could be changed tomorrow, so.
Yeah.
Right.
But then like when we approve the DEI statement, that was a new document for the town, so that would have had, that went to vote, right?
Right.
Did we? Yeah,
Yes.
so, okay, okay.
It's one of these things that the state legislature, instead of basically coming out and saying it in plain English
Right.
that we could all understand, decided to put it in legalese that even the lawyers don't really understand it.
Right.
So thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now,
We may wanna,
yes, we may want to take some things ahead.
maybe start on the highway.
Yeah, why don't we, is that okay with you, Phil, if we start with highway?
I don't care.
We're a little bit ahead of schedule,
Because, yeah, because somebody is from Wallingford Rescue will be here.
and I think so.
In the
I think
library,
the
so.
library's planning to be on, being here as well. Okay. And I just heard, the library representative will be here in a minute, so. Why don't we start with highway?
I wonder who that could be.
I sent a quick little text. Yes, okay, so let's go ahead, and do we have highway in front of us? Or is that gonna be presented?
No.
It's gonna be,
Right here.
work on it as we go.
Okay. Wait, got it. Okay, great. Okay, so we're doing the highway budget review. Okay.
Can I ask one thing before we get
Yes,
into it?
yes,
It doesn't pertain to the budget, but it does pertain to a headache down
okay.
there. It's Champlain Valley delivers fuel down there.
Yeah.
They've had to fuel the tank out of the off-road tank twice in the last month. It ran out again. It was getting ready to run out again. And they showed up this week. Can we switch fuel carriers? Marcel's down there every week.
Oh. So Champlain
They had to
showed
fuel
up?
again last week and they got done fueling, switching, having Lori switch 2 tanks full over into the
And then
inside
Champlain-
tank, then they showed up. But it'd been out for 2 weeks by then. Cause Steve had to do it on a Saturday.
Is Marcel supposed to be doing it?
No,
With a-
Champlain.
Champlain's doing it,
We've
okay.
had him for years.
Why don't we use Marcel? He's there every week.
I think we'd have to make a new bid and everything else, because that's what we had to do last time. We had
I
to
didn't
get
know
bids
when I
for
was bid
the-
this year, did?
Well, we didn't really because of the.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, that's right.
I think they're cheaper too, Marcel.
Never bids on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chance. Is that a
That's,
chance?
that's it,
yeah,
yeah.
it's always Champlain. I think.
Well, they can,
We can send a letter, we'll try to send a letter.
yeah, can we
just to
send a
say-
letter to Champlain to tell them to get on schedule?
Okay. So for a
30 days to be on schedule?
Well, no, I think they should be there every 2 weeks.
Oh, it's not about me, but give them 30 days to get their schedule straight and be there.
Right.
How often you need fuel, I mean,
Once or twice last year, they said.
if you need fuel every week, then get fuel every week.
Yeah.
Well, in that 275 would probably go they should be there every 2 weeks on automatic.
So, see, so 2-week automatic delay is what
I
we
think
should
it is.
have. It doesn't seem like we have it.
No, they're definitely not done there every 2 weeks.
Okay,
I just thought of that.
okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. So now, we have the working draft, and we have a profit loss. So let's take a look. Shall we start with 5301?
Yeah.
Okay. Get to the right page. Okay, there we are.
I see no reason to change it. I think we can
Okay,
flat budget that.
okay. And how far are we into the fiscal year? We have another 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 months to go?
7.
And it looks like we've got 13 left? Okay.
What does that cover?
Well, that's what I was just gonna ask that the next line too.
What's that?
Everything that the others don't. All utilities get, the
Fuel.
fuel,
Okay.
heating, electric, telephone,
Water.
any other stuff.
Water and
Yeah,
sewer.
Water, and sewer.
So, do we want to keep it the same? It seems like the year before, it came in $5,000 under the budget. I don't know if we're gonna use up all of it this year. What do other people think? Do you want to keep it the same?
Well, we've used 13 already.
Well, it looks like we've used
Or
2.
no. We've used-
We have a surplus of 13,
Right.
and we've got 7 months left. But
And you got the
still,
heating,
what's
the
that?
heating, heating.
Oh, heat, okay.
I
So what do
don't
you
think
keep
we,
it the
a
same?
flat budget rate would be all
Okay.
right.
What do you
Yeah,
think, flat?
Yeah.
So,
No, not two.
15,400. Is that good with all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to take Michael or make him sit through the highway budget?
We just
First
did,
told me I should get down here.
I just asked a question. So, do we want to switch back to library?
yeah,
Library's gonna be quick.
yeah.
Okay, so let's look at, library's asking for a $5,000 increase.
Have you been to the children's room recently? The lights are lovely up there. And we're gonna continue to upgrade the lights to LEDs throughout the rest of the library. We have a long-standing commitment to Wallingford Day and serve as a cooling station in the summer, warming station in the winter, access to public Wi-Fi for the community, and trying to keep our head above water.
So what are you looking for the 5,000 going directly, you think, partially to like lighting fixtures, like upgrades and stuff like
Well,
that?
we need to increase our, we'd like to ask the town to increase their contribution to us annually so we can keep up with cost of living. We're
Okay.
taking on an extensive lighting project. You know, we just dropped $8,000 on the children's room, and we'll spend a lot more next year for the librarian's desk and then the
Okay.
Vermont room. So, you know, between that, heating, you know, phone bills,
Yeah.
just salaries.
So the salaries went up,
Yeah, you know, we realized that we were way below cost of living for the librarian, and we increased her salary last summer. She passed a certification course, which means that she's now a certified librarian, which is, you know, a gift to the library as well, so.
I move we boost it to 5,000.
Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving the library?
request at 47,000.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I abstain.
I do have a question for you. How come you did away with the story hour?
I don't think there's enough time tonight for me to get into that, but the long and short of it is, hopefully we'll be coming back.
Okay.
And there was some conflict of interest between the person who was running it and some of the participants, so it, just kind of leave it there, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, fine.
Hopefully we'll be coming back. It's something that we want to continue. I'm set to retire in 2 years, so if it doesn't come back by then, I'll take it on because I want to do it. But I have this other thing I have to do during story hour time called go to work. But it is going to be coming back, so.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
I think somebody else in this room is actually retiring at the end of this year, so we can talk.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay. Going back to highway.
Quick question on what the equipment miscellaneous is. I ask this every year, I know.
Anything that doesn't pertain to, you know, a truck that they buy, you know,
Oh, like chainsaws?
yeah. If it doesn't
Is
go
it
in.
like-
Chains and
Chains.
chainsaw, yeah.
Okay.
So let's see.
Just there so you don't spend it.
I would leave that alone
Okay.
at 3.
We all
I
good
don't
with
see,
that?
Yeah.
So that's staying at 3. 5308, 2011 Caterpillar backhoe.
budgeted it for 25, I don't think we spent any of that, have we?
We spent $981. There's a surplus of 1,500.
I would leave it at 25, because eventually, that's old enough now that when it calves, it's gonna be expensive. I would leave that alone.
So-
And it's something we're gonna have to start thinking about, putting into a rotation along with the truck.
Right.
Okay.
So are we good with that?
I would leave that alone.
Good with,
25?
Yeah. Plows and sanders, I don't, I think we bought chains last year, but I think you'll probably end up buying another one or two this year, so I would leave that alone.
What about the blades?
Yeah, they just got some blades in
Yeah.
and stuff. I think that blade's falling or something, cutting edge,
Blades,
right?
it's got its own,
I think so. Yeah, blades and chains and shoes.
yeah.
I would leave the plows and sanders at 2,
So leave it at 2?
yeah.
Okay.
Hired equipment.
5314,
Um,
hired equipment.
Wasn't much spent out this year.
No.
Well, it's because we didn't do
Mowing
mowing
that
that we
was
usually
my
do.
Right.
issue. I would leave that alone. I don't think it's
So
gonna be.
leave it at 10?
Yeah.
Good with that? 5315, diesel fuel.
I think that's something really,
What's that?
the diesel fuel, I don't know whether to change that or not.
Not much has been spent.
I was gonna say, we
This year.
spent like $5,300 this year.
But last year, it was budgeted for 34 and we spent 33.
Yeah,
So it's the same amount. Do we want to keep it level funded?
I would level fund that.
Probably the reason we've only spent 53 is because they ain't been delivered.
We fuel the burner, yeah.
There's that.
That's good fuel economy though.
Yes,
And also, because we've been down a big truck too, still, right?
Yeah, we were down 2 different times, we were down big trucks, and actually we were down almost 3 trucks at one point.
Right. So we'll keep that level.
Yeah.
Gasoline, I don't know what we have spent.
Gasoline.
just for the pickup.
Yeah, well, and chainsaws.
and
that's-
chainsaws.
Yep,
I would leave,
We're almost 50% into our budget.
Yes.
Yeah. Leave it?
looks
I
like
would leave that.
just shy of 50. So we'll level that at 12. Okay. 5317.
There's too much left.
It's you.
I hear from
He heard, he listened.
Cookies.
Oh my goodness.
Here, Robert, put those in the
Oh my goodness.
table.
Oh, isn't that?
Sorry, they're store-bought, but.
All that is-
I don't think that's good.
Cookies are cookies.
So what do you think for tree service? No, thank you.
Tree service,
We talked to the tree warden.
That's what I did, I just talked to the tree warden.
I assume, is that 500 from, this last pay order, Julie?
It's on there.
Huh?
There's nothing, we haven't spent anything other than what's on the pay order tonight.
I think 3,000, we should put it 3,000.
So put it at 3? So bring it down to 3. Thank you. Okay, moving on to 5318, winter sand.
I know it's going up at least $1 a ton,
Okay.
so that's 2,000 increase at least.
We had a mild winter last
And
year.
very mild, we've used a fair amount of sand already.
Have we?
I think we, didn't we take some out of the winter sand budget to pay for some of the
Oh,
paving?
Yeah, this year we did.
oh, yeah.
So
It was a
I
rollover.
think that's why that's what I usually like.
Gotcha. So,
It'll be the same thing with salt too. I think we took salt and sand money.
And put it into
over
paving.
gotcha. So do we want to level this at 35?
I think that would be fine.
Okay.
You know, it's a chance you're gonna take.
Right,
Right.
okay. And then we're on to its cousin, 5319 winter salt.
I would flat budget that too.
All
It
right.
went up just over $1 a ton, wasn't it? This year, Sandy?
Yeah, so we're gonna leave it at 45.
Yeah.
45 sound good?
Yep.
45.
I think chloride went up a little, didn't it, this year, Julie?
Yeah.
Didn't they just buy a pallet?
So it
We haven't
looks
spent
like,
any yet.
They just picked a pallet up.
so do we need
Yeah,
an increase
yeah.
on chloride?
I would leave the chloride flat.
Leave it flat, 975?
Yep. I know there's a partial pallet down there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
5321 culverts.
I would leave that alone, flat budget it.
Okay,
And not, 9?
Yeah.
okay.
They've got to replace a bunch next year. They got a bunch down there, but they need to replace. It doesn't take long when it's 100 and something a foot.
Okay. Okay, moving on to 5322 oil and grease.
I would leave that flat budgeted at 25. I don't think that's gonna be, let's see.
So it looks like
Hardly use it.
we hardly
Yeah.
used it, and the actual is half the amount.
Yeah.
We raised it to 25, do we want to bring that down to 2? Or do you wanna leave it at 25?
Maybe bring it down to 2 just because we jumped up.
Because it was 2 before, that year we spent 11.
Now, is the
We rose
debt
it up to 25, we've hardly spent any of it. So what do you think, do you wanna bring it to 2?
well, does the deaf flute and all that fall under all that? Or is that deaf flute go out somewhere else
I'm not sure.
when they buy that?
We had to look it up.
So what do we think?
Cause that stuff's not going down.
Okay,
No,
Right.
right, so what do you think?
that's probably gotta be operating
I'd
expenses.
leave it at 20, I'd leave it at 25.
Leave it at 25?
25?
So that would be level at 25. Gravel, 53.23.
Might say 125.
Well, that's what,
That's
That's
just,
just the
budget
code,
was.
the code number.
no, you got, yeah, it's $125,000 is what
yes,
you're.
was budgeted.
Alright,
It looks like, let's see, because we were on gravel.
they spent 90, is that what that is?
Yeah,
No, that's.
No, that's what
Fair enough.
left at
that's what's left, it was spent
We spent
35.
34.
Yeah, we've only
Yeah.
spent 34.
34 over here.
34.
This is what we spent, this is what's left.
What's left over is 90,000.
Yep.
I would leave that at flat budget.
I'm gonna disagree.
Okay,
That's a sore point, but,
Well,
sorry, I'd like to see that down to about 75,000.
well, the problem is they're not using it.
They aren't using it, in my opinion, right.
They're not using it. You need to put more down is the
Yeah.
problem.
so,
But I've heard of other people, other than me, grumble about how high the roads are now. I'm not just the only one that's grumbling. I mean, people up on,
Haven Hill.
Haven Hill are
Well, yeah.
grumbling about how high the roads are.
Still
Our road's up a foot, and the potholes are still in it.
now is
I'm just concerned about
grade them down 6 inches and see what's there.
Yeah.
that road.
Yeah, I know.
Lose at least 3/4 of an inch a year off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
State says
And I'll bet you they put 6 or 8 inches on it last year.
Ah,
no.
okay.
I'm sorry, I can't go with that.
I'm
But
not
that's-
gonna argue budgets. You guys say what you want.
Right.
We run out of money, the roads are rough, don't call me. That's all I'm gonna say. I am.
So, I think you know Mark's opinion on this
Not
and
mine.
everybody else.
Still gonna call you, Bill.
No, they won't.
What's the other general consensus on
The
this?
roads are the biggest thing we do. The roads are the biggest thing we do.
And we spent 121 last year. And we
And-
budgeted 125. So do we want to keep it at 125?
We're not gonna have less, like, kind of impactful storms that are gonna wash away gravels.
And it's gonna go up at least $1 a ton.
So keep it level?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, if we did 121 the last year,
Yes.
I mean, personally, I would be okay with trying to take out $5,000 out of it and just,
We did 125 last year,
Yeah.
and we have spent 34 so far this year.
right, but the year before, we did 121.
Right, for the year of 23 through 24, through June.
And then we got, we
Last
probably
June,
also,
we spent 121.
yeah, and we also probably got money because of the FEMA stuff that we then didn't put into the gravel.
No.
No?
That FEMA's separate from it.
But it would have covered costs of gravel if we didn't have the FEMA money, that would have come out of the gravel budget normally, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's gravel that was put down on a storm that,
Yeah.
Theoretically, yeah.
Replaced.
Yeah.
It was paid for.
right, it was paid for, so it's
Yeah.
not really reflecting in this.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So keep it at 125?
Yeah.
Rob?
Yeah.
Keep it at 125?
Yes, please.
Okay. Sorry, Mark.
I voiced my opinion.
Yes, you did. Okay. 5324 blades, chains and
I'd
shoes.
leave that alone.
Haven't spent much this year. We spent close to all of it the last fiscal year. Level?
Level.
5325 paving. Okay, let's see where we're at. Oh,
You could make that $500,000 and wouldn't start fixing roads.
so we went from 75 to 85. Do we want to take this to 90? What do people think?
Are we up for a paving grant this year? I know we, every so often, we're on the list, then we're not, we're on, we're not, we're on.
And the only ones that'll be on is 140,
And Creek
or
Road.
Crick Road.
Right.
It's the only two paving grant roads we
The only-
have.
Right,
The
okay.
only
Yeah.
thing for class two.
What do you think of 140?
Oh, we
It doesn't
apply
matter,
for it
if they
every
give you
year.
a grant, that's where it's going.
Yeah,
What I'm saying, I would put it to 90 just to show them that we really care about our roads.
now do we want to, because we went from 75 to 85, do we want to go to 90 or 95?
What do you think, though?
Look, I just told you, $500,000 wouldn't cover the road damage
Right.
we have in pavement, so. If
For-
$10,000 is just another 3 loads.
If we look at the numbers,
Better than nothing, don't get me wrong, but
if we look at the numbers, we have just about spent the entire budget now. And we were over a fair amount from what was budgeted. What was budgeted in 23, 24, we were quite a bit over
what's, on what?
for the
Paving?
actual in
Paving.
23,
No,
24.
because we
paving.
took it out of sand.
Yeah, we
already
took
knew.
it out of salt and sand.
Salt and
Okay.
sand, we knew it was there, that's, we
So-
We
were,
also paid in advance last year, or
Do we?
when did we do that? Didn't we have some money left over and you
Right.
couldn't get to it, so we
It
paid them in
rolled in
advance?
Oh,
first of the,
so what do you think? Do we bring it just to 90? Or keep it at the 85?
95.
What are you
Just for
thinking this
everything.
year? Where
We
are
got
you?
roads everywhere that need to be paved. We
No,
just-
I agree.
It's just pick the ones that are the absolute worst and pave them. That's all. You know, you can, it's a drop in the bucket and eventually some of them are just gonna deteriorate and they're gonna have to be rotomilled, put back to dirt somehow.
Okay.
Cause you're not gonna, you're gonna start losing them.
Okay, so, what are people's thoughts on this?
I say level fund or go to 90. I think 95 feels like a ton, a big jump, because we've already had a couple of big jumps already.
Gotcha. And we're able to take
We've
money
level
from other
funded
places.
everything, where we've had big jumps.
We had a big jump at the beginning, didn't we? I
No,
thought we
we've
had-
level funded, we went down 500 on one.
Wait, I could have sworn I. Okay.
No, so the whole thing is, and we've
Oh,
gone
they
down
have-
on the
okay.
only one.
So,
That's why I say 95.
okay, so do we wanna do, what do people think?
I agree.
Okay, you agree with the 95, I agree with Justin at the 90, what do you think, Mark?
Taking, oh, donations, actually, well,
Do you think we should jump to 95?
yeah,
Okay,
he's right, we've got roads out there that are in very bad shape.
okay. So,
Blacktop roads.
Blacktop. Well, no, there's a lot of dirt too.
So what are
okay,
you gonna do?
so I guess 95?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. 95. Okay, moving on to
Because that'll
50.
probably do just about what we did last year with the cost, with the increase in
Yeah.
Right.
increase in cost, so
Yeah.
not like we're gonna get any more distance out of that extra
No.
10 grand, it'll
Right.
be
No.
the same,
Yep,
all 20 feet.
Yeah.
right, right. 5327, traffic control devices.
What do we
flat
have?
ones.
We spent,
We had a grant one year, didn't we, Sandy? A couple years ago? So we didn't
Yeah,
spend
went through and
much?
bought a bunch of stuff.
yeah,
Do we need that? I mean, you got more stuff that we need, cones and stuff like that, or
No.
You never
we
have
I think
always
we're pretty much
Never.
set on it for now?
sounds like they
Or do
need
you wanna-
more.
It's just thinking back to discussion last time with the constable, is it worth it to try to get like 2 signs for when the Memorial Day parade is going on, like at either end, just to say parade ahead, kind of thing. That we could put like at the end of town and, in the south and end of town in the
Didn't do that
north.
for me in Woodstock when I went through.
You too?
No,
He can be better than Woodstock.
just a line of cars, that's all it was.
Oh, you got stuck
Oh, yeah.
Saturday too?
Oh, no, this was.
Oh.
We almost had a quorum for a select board
It was 4th of July Memorial Day. Memorial Day, I was going over, Leadwell and Woodstock both.
It's just, you
It'll
lose
show
the
up.
X amount of the cones and the signs
Right.
every year.
I know.
People like to borrow them. Think they make,
It's speed signs, they get hit or whatever. you have to
Right.
replace them.
So do we level or do we increase?
I think level budget would be fine. I don't
Okay.
know what, I
So,
don't know what the cost is in that. I know we got a grant one year.
Yeah,
okay. So keep it at 5?
yeah.
Okay.
5328, road crew clothing stipend.
I don't know if we still doing that, Julie?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gotta
And
stay
it
the
looks like it
same.
gets used.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we use
Just
it.
give it to them.
Okay, so then we'll just, level fund,
Yes.
okay? 5332, special projects.
Did we use any of that last year?
Nope.
We usually, do the storm drains out of this.
It looks like we didn't spend anything,
No,
That's what I didn't think we did.
and so,
Didn't we do the storm drains? Oh, the state did some of those this year.
yeah, I think we should,
so,
because the last time we did the storm drains, it was close to 3, so I don't think.
We had to level fund that.
The storm, the suctioning of the storm
Yes.
drains, yeah.
so what do you think, 35 or 3?
I say 35.
35?
Drain's gonna be needed again this year?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna level fund that?
Have to
And
do the drains out.
we don't have.
Okay, level fund.
Is it on the next page?
Okay. 5336, 2014 Kenworth truck.
This is a start and it's dark.
So, this one says we only spent 1,200 on it. Isn't that the one we spent $5,000 on? We didn't spend it on, yeah, we put a clutch in it this year.
This one, we spent 65 on it.
That's Charlie's. That
It's
went-
budgeted for 65.
We're on 14.
The 14, we've
Oh, wait,
only,
Yes.
only spent 1,200 on. The 16, we
Yes.
spent 6,000 on.
The 14, the clutch went in it.
so this
You always
one we
spend $5,000 on
spent
that.
74
That's one.
on this one.
Must be we haven't get billed for it. When did it go?
January, I think. Earl's truck did it.
Oh,
Oh,
so
well,
What's
that's
that we
why-
did last year?
Oh, last year,
budget.
oh,
That's
okay,
right,
It's in
all right.
there, it's in there for 14.
And we have plenty of money right now, but in,
74 already, or this is what we spent.
but in
on
the
it
last fiscal year, we
Okay,
spent 74
all
on
right.
it.
We put a clutch in it, and
Yeah,
it-
So do we want to keep it at 65?
I know, because we've already, what have we already spent already this year?
Sound good?
Yeah,
Keep it at
'cause we-
65?
cause
You
the,
can't anticipate
tires-
a breakdown, you know?
we've already, we put
65?
tires on it already.
Okay.
We've got 4 on it, or they're gonna go on it here shortly. There's
Right.
gonna be 15 or 1,800, and it needs 4 more eventually. So there's over $3,000.
Okay. So we're gonna keep 5336 at the 65.
No,
5337, the 2016.
Yeah, look at what we spent on one.
Oh, my goodness. And now how about for this year? Yep, we have
What did we put into that
basically
one last
spent
year?
the budget.
16.
Yep.
And we've already almost spent the whole budget already this year.
Already.
Yeah.
So do we, and we increased it 1,000 last year from
I
55
think
to
we
65.
had a flat budget and take our chance.
Yeah.
Flat,
I mean, we'll
flat,
have to rob it from somewhere else if we
okay,
have an issue, that's all.
okay, so,
Rob it from the truck that's still running.
Last year, neither of them were.
okay, so we're gonna keep that at 65. 5338, 2006 Chevrolet truck.
Is that needing tires or anything?
No, the little girl's pretty good.
And are we thinking we need to replace that anytime soon?
Well, doesn't get a lot of miles.
Right.
And it seems to run fairly good other than it smokes a lot, but
I think
down the
2006
road,
was
I'd keep trucking with it.
Okay.
2006 was a good year. That's the year of my Honda Accord that's still running.
That-
Very
I
well.
would- the thing with them is, now to buy a pickup, you're talking 20 grand.
Oh, it's insane. It's a
Cheap used one.
So
cheap
we'll
used one, yeah, but like 70 grand is
keep
a
that at
half ton.
500.
Yeah.
We're level funding, 5338 at 500. Okay. 5339 municipal roads general permit.
I don't know much about that.
Well, it looks like it's been the same for a while.
Yeah, it was the same for a few years. I think we should level fund that.
Yes. So that's at 1350. Okay. Moving down to 5340, the 2018 Dodge Ram truck.
Welcome to
Okay.
Dodge. And,
You bought it.
not again, though. We budgeted, let's see, what do we put in, a
We budgeted
1,500?
1,500 and we're,
Almost 9 on it already.
Well, that's from the last
Well, I got-
fiscal year.
I don't see any issues
This-
stopping either.
This year, we have some money left, but
It's years.
probably gonna
no, we
use it.
don't.
No, we,
Don't
We're over by $2,000.
I might be looking at the wrong thing. Oh, yeah, I looked at the wrong thing, that's for sure. Yep, okay. So, what do you think? Are we flatting this and taking it from someplace else, or are we raising this?
What does that mean for tires?
Can't get a new truck yet.
He did tires on that. I would up it $500, but
So bring it
it's
to
the same
two?
thing, we're gonna have to rob it from somewhere.
So raise it to 2?
Yeah,
Okay. 5342, 2019 Milton cat loader.
are the payments done in that, Julie?
The loader?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
So
loader,
that's why it's down to $1,000, so.
that's,
Oh, yeah.
I'd level fund that, that's just for
So
general.
just keep
Just
the
a general.
1,000?
just the,
Okay. 5343, 2020 Milton cat excavator.
We got one more payment on that, right?
Not in the excavator,
No,
no.
we're on our last one.
Have we paid the last one, or we got,
In this.
In this
fiscal
budget
year.
we're in.
this budget right coming up right
This
here?
is, so,
Okay.
so we're back to scratch.
payment.
So the grader's the only one that will have a
So
payment.
we,
So 13,000 would be the last payment.
You want anything for maintenance?
For
I would call $1,000 instead of 13.
So are you thinking 14?
No.
Well, you said
We
the
don't need-
last payment comes out in the budget we're in right now?
That's right.
Okay, all right.
We don't need the
We
payment,
already
so we can
did.
take the 13 out and just
Oh.
put 1,000 for maintenance.
Yeah,
Oh, so just bring that down to 1,000?
yeah.
There we go. That's good. Perfect.
there's the paving.
Yeah.
Here's the paving. There's the paving.
You
So
can
you wanna
flat
put-
budget the international too.
Well, you wanna put 10 grand into that or something, maybe 20?
The
They
international.
need it?
Yeah, the international.
Zero?
Okay, so let's see. 5345, 2014 International.
Flat budget it.
Okay. That's a goose egg.
Do we wanna take that off the books now that because we no longer own it, correct?
Well, that's what I would do. I figured it was
It's
off
off,
the
but
books
we still
now.
have to show it because of the
The
first
Right.
column.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Next year will be out.
Next year's gonna be off, okay.
Go.
Okay. 5346, 2023 cat grader.
That's the, payment, and then.
Yes.
Phil told me he didn't wanna add anything for maintenance.
Right.
I think that's still under warranty for the most part.
Okay.
I think it still falls under warranty.
So you're asking for 23,760 for that?
That's
the payment.
That's the payment, okay.
That's the payment, okay.
We got chains and stuff, you're all set there?
Yeah, that's chained up.
Tires are good. I mean-
Tires are all new.
So, on the excavator,
Yeah.
are we trucking it by our own trailer yet?
Oh, well, I think so.
Just drive it where we want it.
I moved it a few times.
Well, it's kind of parked. It's been parked for a few weeks now.
Yeah, it's been, they haven't done any more weed whacking. I think Charlie moved it once with it.
Right. Right.
There's usually trailers around.
Okay. Okay, so moving on?
We got, Eric here for the Wallingford rescue.
Okay. So do we need to talk about 5348? It's just on the books. Is that gonna come off the books?
We don't budget or anything for it.
Well, we're not. We're gonna keep it as
That's an
is.
No, that just will eventually come off the book,
That was
Yes.
an income.
once we get another store.
Okay. So there we are with highway. Thank you, Phil.
So I went up a total of $10,000 maybe.
Right. And now we have the budget for Wallingford Rescue.
And I didn't even bring cookies.
Please pass those cookies.
Yes, yes.
I've been
Here.
waiting.
Put them on the wrong end, didn't they?
Put it on the wrong end.
Thank you. Two now.
There we are. Okay. So let's see where Wallingford Rescue is. Is this under, what's Wallingford Rescue under?
Appropriations.
Appropriations, I have appropriations here. Here we go. Okay. So let's see what is being asked for this year. 23.5.
Last year we asked for 23.5.
Right.
This year we're asking for 25.
For 25 this year, okay. Oh, here we go. I found it.
Last time I saw you asking for money, it was $6,000.
Things have changed.
Go ahead. So that 25 includes 10,000 for an ambulance sinking fund and 15,000 for services to Wallingford and the newly acquired area of East Wallingford after Mount Holly dissolved.
Correct. Last year, we asked for the 10,000 for Wallingford, 2,500 that we picked up from Mount Holly. So we went up 1,500 this year. And a lot of that, honestly, is just insurance cost. And we have a stretcher that we're going to be replacing this year. They're not going to service it. And we're still trying to figure out if we're going to go with the $15,000 used one or the $30,000 new one. So, yeah.
It doesn't even come with a motor.
Comes with a hydraulic.
Oh, hydraulic.
Yeah, that's the wall battery even. So there you go. 18 volt wall battery.
Rechargeable?
Rechargeable. Stamp, but it's all stamp medical, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the request is 25?
25.
25 it is.
We're hoping that last year we actually, I think we did 264 calls previous year. This year we jumped to 364. It was actually, we've gone up 100. So, one a day, we
Yeah.
averaged.
Okay.
You've gotten some more, help, right?
We do. We've got 2 or 3 people that have actually taken the EMT class. A couple retired guys that we picked up. We've got a couple younger ones that are jumping on board, so
Great. Well, that's great.
we're crossing our fingers that we keep them, so.
Okay.
How many actual volunteers do you have?
We have, I believe it's probably 12 or 13.
Oh, that's great.
And honestly, you know,
That's great.
we have 7 or 8 that do a majority of the.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And we are very thankful for the Yeah. We've got a couple people with odd schedules and 3 retired people that pick up most of the daytime.
Wow,
So, right now, we're fortunate, so.
okay,
Yep.
okay, so that's great.
According to the report they filed, you guys, this was a record year, 264 calls.
Yeah, yes.
Um,
Yeah, it was a huge jump.
Yeah.
You know, we, last year, we had some more mutual aid just because we didn't have the coverage during the day. But that, I think, was only like 40 calls, but we picked that up in an additional 60. So, but East Wallingford accounted for, can't remember, I'm not exactly sure what the numbers were
Alright.
there, but that also increased.
Okay. Wonderful, well, thank you.
Okay. Any, Sandy, I know you got the email on the solar.
Yeah,
Did anybody, I mean, I'm willing to answer
so
questions on
we
that.
did inquire about
Right.
possibly using the rescue as for solar, and
Yes.
they said no,
Right.
and Eric can speak to that.
Right. A lot of ours was, they were going on the roof right now. One of our concerns is the roof is 15 years old. So we're gonna have to replace that in 10 years. How would that work?
Gotcha.
Something I had not really even thought of was the increase of insurance just because we have the solar panels on the building. And you know, we figured that, we personally are pretty energy efficient because we've got the heat pumps and
Right.
the radiant heat. So, given all that, and fire department, we kind of learned that they don't go into structures with solar panels on roofs. So that was another, yeah. So add it all up, we thank you, but we're not, didn't think it was gonna work for us.
Well, that's fine. Yeah. Thank you for considering.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay,
All set?
all set?
Okay.
All right.
And thank you for the cookies.
Thanks.
Well, you got it. Well, I was, last time I was in, I didn't bring any in, last time. I figured I'd better. Have a good
Okay. Moving on to Town Hall heating, cooling, update and funding.
They're in. I'm learning the same as you. So, you, Sandy, can probably speak to how well they're working, if they're working. Or...
Yeah, they're in, they haven't, they're
Oh, yeah.
becoming installed,
Half days.
not
Oh,
fully.
okay.
Yeah.
Not
Electrical
fully.
hasn't happened.
Well, I
so they haven't-
understand that.
They're in the process, in the
Right.
works.
Okay.
But picking up on the, unless there's anything else on the heating and cooling, you can pick up on the solar.
Yeah.
So just at the last meeting, as you recall, we had talked about the 3 different sites. So one was the rescue squad site, which you just heard the update on there.
Yeah.
Then the other was obviously the town garage, which included 2 possibilities, just the building or the sand shed. And then the other, which came up in the last meeting itself, I believe, or the one before, was about the rec field.
Yes.
Right, so, and then you had approved putting in CPGs for all 3 of those sites, just to give us flexibility. Given that the rescue squad was still an unknown, I just reached out to the consultant who was putting in CPGs for us and just asked him, if we don't put them in right away, if we put them in after our next meeting when we know more, would we still have time to put them all in? He said that we would.
All right.
Based on that information, I asked him just to move forward with one for the town garage at this point, town garage site. So that has been submitted. We know that the rescue squad is off the table at this point. And then the other one, the rec field, thinking about it some more after our discussion, it sounded good when we were talking about it, but since we know that the sand shed needs to be replaced anyway,
Yeah.
I thought, when you can tell me, but why would we invest in structures to put the solar panels at the rec field if we have this need at the town
true.
garage?
That's true.
So I think, and Sandy, you jump in here on the updates, but Sandy, so I think in terms of the decision tree or the algorithm, it would be because the town garage itself was kind of ruled out
Right.
based on the engineer report. The sand shed itself did not get a real good review either, but we were thinking about, well, if we could replace that, wouldn't that be ideal? Phil already had a design that you'd worked with Tony on about 2 years ago.
Yeah, Todd Galliano.
Todd Galliano, yes. And so the thought was, if that can be, the question remains as to whether we can do that at that site with the adjustments in the floodplain regulations and things. So I guess the decision tree would be, if that can be approved to do that, that would be the first choice, to put it in the design that we have. If for some reason that can't be done because of the floodplain regulations, then the question would be, if you take the walls out, does that somehow allow you to do it in the floodplain? If that's still a no, then we're at the point where we're looking at, although the engineer said it would be difficult to repair, we're looking at the current structure. So the repair of that current structure may be completely removing that roof, replacing some, not all, but some of the posts, and basically, starting over, but the design is the same, which should probably be able to be approved. So, I don't know, Sandy, I know that you submitted that design to them. Have we heard anything back yet?
No, I
No,
didn't.
okay.
I'm just sending him another email right
Okay,
now. Because
yeah.
I sent him the, Todd's design on the 4th.
Okay.
He's not responding.
Yeah, so anyway, we're covered in terms of the CPG for the site. So whichever one of those paths pan out, we're covered in terms of the CPG, and then we have 1 year to get it done.
Okay.
So I think at this point, that's kind of the only update that I have, unless you had any other questions, or if you were not thinking the same way that, like I was just mentioning about the rec fields, if you still wanted to move forward, we could, with the CPG for that, we could, to give us more flexibility. Otherwise, I think we just sit on that and save the town a couple $100 and see how it turns out with the town garage site.
I think the tough thing that I have with it is that because there is many unknown factors with the town garage, in the way for the sand shed,
Yeah.
like, I worry that we'll do this, we'll put our eggs in this basket with the last chance that we have to do something like this, and then have it be that we won't be able to get that structure done in time. And, or we won't be able to find the funding, or we won't be able to do something like that, versus the structure that, my understanding is the structure that we would need for the rec field would be pretty simple, just kind of metal, kind of like things and some concrete pads. I mean, that doesn't seem, and also would be less maintenance really, because you're not worrying about it on top of a structure. And I don't know, just for me, that still feels like if a viable option that we should kind of.
But do they allow it in a floodplain?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, is it the same issues there?
The difference is that and what Shannon was explaining, was that if you put the structure up at the rec field, you don't have any walls, the water can flow through. You're not stopping the water.
You were putting
Electricity
in a floodplain, you were putting.
energizing a waterway.
Okay. Shannon seemed to think that that one might fly even easier than the sand shed because it's not structured. Right, Joe?
That's what I remember her
Yeah,
saying.
that's what I remember it being said as well. And I'm just thinking that if there's any viability, the more flexibility we have, the better.
But that should be a simple question to ask.
We haven't heard,
State.
have we?
We haven't asked
If you can.
We haven't asked about it yet.
Solar
Okay.
field and floodplain.
about the rec field now.
How many cubic yards or square yards do you need of solar panel to offset our electric use?
So it depends on the power of the panels, but the bids that you got back from the different people kind of give us an idea. So it fits on the footprint of the current sand shed, it fits within that, covers the power for the town. That we anticipate even with the increases from the heat pumps and things, yeah. So, I mean, and I think with the ball field, I guess you could arrange them so you get optimum positioning with the sun.
Well, you could position them facing
Yeah.
south.
Yeah.
What is the structure that has to go at the ball field with these?
It'll be like, same thing the high school's got, that's what they were thinking of.
Yes.
Parking.
Yeah, you park underneath them, and they're just structures on top.
Yeah,
But it could be like up on 140 right before White Rocks, they have that array and it's just metal, kind of like, I wanna say like T-brackets or whatever, it's like a simple metal thing, cause it doesn't have to be.
Those I think are just on blocks too.
It has to be above the parked cars, we're talking the parking lot, not the fields.
I thought we were talking about the fields, not the parking lot. The parking lot makes sense with the
we were talking
structure.
about the parking lot.
Yeah, parking lots, not the fields.
Okay, I thought we were talking about.
Because the fields are definitely in major floodplain.
No, you're talking about the
Putting
parking
structure
lots.
in
No,
the-
yeah, I thought for some reason we thought that was gonna be okay to do it over in the fields.
My understanding was the parking lot at Stone.
Okay.
But yeah, that would just be a standard
Right, it would just be.
standard structure, but.
And that would require fencing in that scenario.
Yeah.
The discussion last time was that if you do it in public garage like at the high school, it would not require fencing. Although, there's still some questions, because we have had some issues with vandalism down in that area, general vicinity, so.
Right,
maybe it's-
But if they're high enough, I mean,
yes,
you're gonna,
right.
They hold up to a fly ball.
Yeah,
yeah.
or foul ball, depending on where you're at.
You're here for the meeting? You can come in. Feel free.
Yeah, so we could add that in. Like I said last time, the Energy Committee approved using our budget for that, so we could, and the cost for that, we could still do that within our $500 budget.
Alright.
So it's get the other CPG. Or to Phil's point, maybe we can just find out pretty quickly if there's any issues with
Yeah.
that.
Floodplain.
Yeah, well, I guess my biggest thing is we know we have to build a salt shed,
Yeah.
sand shed. We know that one's gonna fall down
Yeah.
sometime within the next week or two.
Hopefully.
But it should,
Um,
we should get a decision on that being in the floodplain pretty quickly, on what we can do. I mean,
Yeah.
we need to put the salt sand someplace. What do we do to get it out of floodplain, build up?
Build up.
Yeah, have to build it up. I'm not sure how it works, but I think, Erika might have told us, but raising it up with 4 foot of concrete above grade is gonna give it a big start.
But
Okay.
now we're interfering with the
Right,
flood flow, or the water flow.
water.
Well, it's still gonna run around that. The pile of sand was there originally.
Well, I know.
It's just-
Well, it just,
I don't know how the state, we started this, what, a year ago, a year and a half, didn't we, Sandy, on some?
2022.
And they,
We haven't heard anything.
I don't know what the answers were.
So I was talking to Jay White about this a little bit because he was working on when they built the rescue squad building
Yeah.
in the floodplain, and he said that it had to be, like you're saying, the base had to be so far up
18
above.
inches above the highest flood.
Right, and that's what they did, they actually went even higher than that. And he was the one who was saying that, so if you do a new building, you're probably gonna have to accommodate that. But his thought was that if you're doing a repair of an existing structure, and in this case, the repair would be pretty extensive, but if it still be a repair, it's the same structure, that theoretically should be grandfathered in under the existing regulations. So it would be less costly than what we're already talking about. It wouldn't be the ideal scenario where we get the new structure with the walls and everything. But to your point about the water flowing through, I mean, it wouldn't displace water in a floodplain. It would just be the current structure with what's already there.
your goal in the salt shed is, or the sand, your main goal is to replace the salt shed, but incorporate it into the
Sand shed.
sand shed together.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, in the repair scenario, that wouldn't be the case, it would be,
Because
you can't.
if we don't do something in the semi-near future, we blocked up the back of the salt shed this year with some concrete blocks
right.
to hold it together. Eventually, the roof on the sand shed's gonna just collapse.
Yes.
Right.
Then, we're gonna have to do something.
Right.
so.
Alright.
I mean, so it's
No,
kind of,
I very much agree that we need to definitely think about doing something with that and soon.
It's-
Yeah.
The 1 year time schedule you're talking, if you had it under motion right now, I don't know if you could build it up that quick.
That's true. So my question is, with this proposal that we have here, is this a proposal on what you were talking about, on making the sand shed into the salt
The
shed?
one Todd
Yes.
proposed, that's what, 2 years old now?
Yeah,
Yes.
You could probably double that price.
I spoke to him last week, and he's gonna come up with a price this week, update the price.
I would figure close to double.
Gotcha. And the structure that's being proposed in here is?
Is it for salt and sand?
Yes, it's one
It's
building
salt,
for two.
One building for two.
For two, and the only thing we aren't sure about, and I think they're gonna, Todd will probably look into it, is if it is built strong enough to carry the solar panels.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure
Right.
it probably is, but
Probably is. Right.
And I think that's, Sandy, that was part of your question back to them. As they update the price, just make sure that it can compensate for it.
yeah, extra weight, because all it's gonna be is a matter of
Right.
changing some beams,
Yep,
upgrading them.
yep.
because I think no matter which way we go right now, unfortunately, looking at the options, we're gonna be pushing that year,
Oh, yeah.
whether we
I know.
replace the salt shed or we put structures down in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Either way, it's gonna take probably close to the same amount of time. Because we're still gotta deal with the floodplain.
Yep.
We gotta get an engineering drawing, or, and then put it in front of the state to make sure it fits,
Right.
their idea of a floodplain.
Yep.
We've gotta do the same thing with the salt shed, so where we're gonna get our best, bang for the buck, I'm
Right.
thinking it's the salt shed.
Yep,
I did ask the consultant about that, and he seemed, although he can't give any guarantees, he indicated that if you have the CPG in and you have that 1 year time period and you show progress and you're moving towards that, he has seen extensions happen.
Can you put in, can you build a piece of that? Like a few panels within the year and then add to that with the same CPG? Do you follow me? Well, where I'm going with it is,
So the CPG will define the size of the array? So are you saying you have a certain amount approved within your CPG and you put a percentage of that in that year? Or are you saying you put a
yes,
full amount
exactly, yes.
and add to it later?
Yes.
I think I'm guessing if it's not complete, it would require some type of extension.
Well, so either way, we're gonna have to do some kind of extent. The reason
I
I was
think
asking is,
if we're at the point where we have a structure and we can get some of them on, we would be ready to put them all on, I would think, right? Unless you're going a different
Right.
direction here that I'm not catching on yet.
well, I'm kind of thinking a little bit, knowing that whichever way we go, we're looking at longer than a year. Well, or we're gonna back that out right at the year for the CPG. I mean, that's pushing it for either place. So the question is, can we put up a solar panel somewhere on the property, on the garage property? Not sure where, I'm just thinking out of the box.
Right.
That would get it started, satisfy the CPG within a year's period, and then rebuild the salt shed and add to the array once the salt and sand shed's done.
I think that's a good question to ask if we find ourselves, progressing through the year and we can definitely say we're not gonna hit it. And then I think that's when we go back with that proposal to the folks who would be extending the CPG for us and say that's more of like I would initially, if I'm following what you're saying, I would see that more as a fallback position. Our initial position would be full steam ahead with whatever plan you guys approve and whatever you think makes the most sense. Full steam ahead with that, show progress towards that, show our timeline towards that, try to get the approval for an extension. If they say sorry, then maybe we say, okay, we're gonna work with you, we're gonna do some alternative approach to get some of these panels in this year, and, you know.
Right. Yeah, I'm just, like I said, we need, just to get it started if it works. but-
Yeah.
Well, I guess then the question is with the CPGs, it's so hyper specific that it's for a particular structure, or is it just for that bit of land?
It's for the site.
So for the entire site, anywhere on that site, that's for that? Yeah, because if that's the case, then, because we're supposed to be able to add onto the array if we need to in the future, and still gain the CPG aspects of it, right?
Right.
So if you did have just a small panel array that started out now, like that was on the grass, like to the left of it or something like that, and then we could then upgrade that as we make the sand shed and then put even those panels and then additional panels later.
I think you're saying they want to see the whole plan. They want to see, for an extension, you're gonna have to show that you have a goal of more than just a little, more than just a panel there.
Well, yeah.
And how you're gonna do it, not just, we'll think of it when we come to it. I think we gotta plan the whole thing.
No, yeah.
So,
I like the sand shed, but I don't know if we can afford it.
Or we have to do something.
Right.
I don't know if there's any way around not doing something for this.
Well, another way to look at the sand shed is if we pay for a structure at the parking lot at the ball fields, then we're paying for a structure at the parking lot of the ball fields.
Exactly.
It'll have no other use to the town,
Exactly.
other than the whole solar panels.
Right.
Where if we put that money that we're put into the structures, into the salt shed, sand shed, then at least now we have something to show,
Yes.
you know, that we can use, that we using the money for. In other words, it's not just a structure holding solar panels.
Right.
Unless we did something with doing chargers, and then we're charging a fee per hour for chargers down at the ball field. To recoup some of the costs.
Yeah.
But I think we have a town need for an upgrade to the salt sand shed. We have to do something with it. And I think if we go ahead and invest the money into making a viable structure that's gonna last for decades to come, then that's probably gonna be a viable structure to put solar panels on as well.
it will
And
be designed to do that.
it will be designed to do that. So it seems like we have to do something about it. I mean, I've been on this board long enough to know, we've been talking about the salt sand shed since I've been on this board.
Quite a few.
And before I was on this board, talking about the salt sand shed. So we really need to do something about
And
it.
it's understandable that people don't wanna spend money in this
Right.
economy right now, but there's gonna come a time they're gonna have to.
Yep. We've known about this for a while, so it seems like it's
We keep
getting
pushing.
closer and
pushing
closer.
it off,
Have to
that's
do
all.
something about it.
But in the end, are we going for both applications?
I guess after this conversation, I don't know if we need to go after both. It seems like the priority is really the salt sand shed, to me anyways. What do other people think?
Can you make a building out of those, concrete blocks of big ones, huh?
Yeah,
More expensive?
it'll probably cost you almost as much, and then you have to engineer it.
Right.
It's gonna have to be engineered to do what you wanna do on the roof of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sure they're not gonna allow stacked concrete blocks
Oh,
to
they
do
put some
that.
I-beams up there.
They're not gonna do that, bolt end the loose blocks.
So if we're gonna go to if we're gonna look at replacing the salt shed, sand shed, within the next year, then we'll have to revisit the budget for Well, we'll have to look at the ARPA funds, and we'll have to look at probably financing some, because I don't think we have enough ARPA funds to do it regardless. But we're also gonna have to look at, well, we'll have to get it into the budget, but we're also gonna have to put in some engineering costs, I would think, right up front and right off the bat.
And there is still some Fernwood Farms money.
You won't have to do any engineering costs on the steel building, because that's pre-engineered.
Oh, so you think, okay, so you are thinking like a steel,
Yeah, if you go to
concrete
steel
slab,
structure,
steel structure,
there'll be no slab, it'll just be walls. Frost,
Okay,
8-foot walls.
okay,
4
ground,
up, 4 down.
dirt on the ground.
Dirt on the ground, because
Right.
the sand will eat, sand and salt will eat the concrete floor.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Did that design have to build up off the ground for the floodplain? Do you
I was
recall, or
gonna
that
ask.
just-
Well, when Todd designed that, it was 4 feet in the ground and 4 feet above the ground with
Wall.
buttresses for the pillars to sit on for the
Yes.
Yeah,
roof. So the actual building was 21 or 22 feet to the peak.
but when they talk about the floodplain, are they talking about the floor itself, or are they talking about the walls?
Well, that I'm not sure how.
I know, that's, we're gonna have to get some
Yeah, that's why
clarity on that, because,
Yeah.
clarification, the state started this originally. We did with them 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and we just kind of dropped the ball.
Only as high as the sand's in there,
Middlebury.
so.
The entire roof one. It was so
Right.
expensive.
I mean, I've seen towns that have their sand, their pile of sand in the floodplain.
Oh, yeah.
They pile right up next to the brook. That just happens to be the land they own,
Right.
and that's where they put it, so.
Yeah, so there's 3 different price points potentially, and they're driven by the regulatory situation, right? So we're trying to
Right.
determine, from a regulatory perspective, the ideal scenario, the most costly, would be the full building.
Yeah.
The next level of possibility would be, okay, if you can't do the full building, but you can do a new structure without walls, will that get through approval? If no, then we're in a situation where we're repairing what we have, which is probably not what we ultimately want, but at least it's less costly and gets us maybe there quicker within the time frame that we want.
Right.
The ball field gives us more flexibility if we do the CPG now, but to your point, we know we need the sand salt shed, and anything that we do at the ball field is just taking money away from funds that could go to that thing that we're ultimately gonna need. So, I mean, it's a small spend to get the CPG to give that flexibility, but, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
That's up to you.
I think it's a small spend, and I think also it's that, what if that fourth scenario comes up where they're not gonna let us build anything there or restructure something, or it falls down and then we can't repair it because there's no structure left, or something like that, like, I don't know, catastrophic,
I know
force
what you're
majeure
saying.
kind
I
of
know what you're
thing.
saying. So what do we
Like if the
think?
sand shed itself is just no longer there
Well,
because of something.
Well, we're looking at $200 for the other CPG. I mean,
Right.
It's a small
That's,
spend.
that's,
Not
that's
a
what
huge
it
amount of money.
And it just gives a little back door if we need it.
Right.
What do you think? We good with that?
Go with the 2.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, I guess we'll go with the CPG for the,
Okay, I'll ask them to submit that, and then we'll just continue, Sandy, pushing them to get the information that we need on what we can do in that floodplain.
yeah,
These different scenarios.
okay. And then we should be hearing about an update on the cost of the shed.
Yes, this week.
Because we'll need an estimate on that fairly soon to get
Yes,
it
we will.
into next year's budget,
Yes,
you know, or at least some of the funds.
Yeah, like the first, like the down payment or whatever.
I mean, steel buildings, the steel is not, they're pretty reasonable right now. It's
They have a lot of sales on them.
It's a labor to put them up.
But
So,
the issues are, when you're seeing these budgeted buildings, are there gonna be structurally sound to put a set of solar panels on? You kinda gotta go somewhere
right,
that'll back it, so you can put
Right.
solar panels
right,
on.
right.
right. Well, we have another thing to talk about.
Yeah.
The ARPA, Energy Committee ARPA applications. And for various energy efficiency projects at Town Hall. We have authorized the spending for Wilson Plumbing and Heating, and for Rocky's Electric as part of a heat pump installation project. Do we want to formally approve these costs being paid by the Wallingford formerly ARPA fund as part of the Energy Committee's ARPA applications numbered 15, 16, and 17?
This is just basically a formality.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think what we need is a motion.
I'll make the motion that we pay the funds that are, pay the Energy Commission for the heat pump and electrical out of
Plumbing and
the,
heating, yeah.
plumbing and heating, out of the ARPA funds or the,
Wallingford Asset Fund, yeah.
yes, thank you.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Second.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now, will any of the other energy efficiency projects use these ARPA funds? We approved them, right? No, we did not. Okay,
We put everything on the table until they got RFP, so.
gotcha.
So what is left that they've requested, I guess is the big question.
Yeah.
Julie provided you each with the updated ARPA.
Well, here it is, the ARPA. And we see the balances there. And then some of them were expensed out. So would it be, are we looking at the ones approved but not funded?
I mean, I think that they initially they gave us
Gotcha.
some just generic numbers because they didn't get estimates at the time, so they came in at like 50-something thousand, so we're under what.
Okay. Well, I see that the 15 and 16 were under the approved but not funded. And we just approved those now. And then the ones that were approved,
You're talking about the ARPA funds for energy.
yeah.
So that, those Lawson and Rockies will come out of that figure. And I'm not sure, we didn't do anything upstairs, so that's down the road. But it's just something to think about for
Yeah.
an upcoming meeting. It gives an idea how much of this money's left over.
Okay.
hopefully.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So 57, we just approved, it looks like 27. Somewhere in the rough estimate of 27 to be
Right.
used right now. Seven,
Maybe down the road that 30 can be used.
okay,
Solar panels.
all right. And now it said that this was 15, 16, and 17. The ones I see that were approved but not funded were 15, 16, and 19, so where's 17? Unless the number is just a misprint. So is that 17 really 19 or that 19 really 17? Because it looks like it's all about the town hall energy efficiency, which is what these projects are.
Right, yes.
Okay. Well, actually, they came in, yes, a lot less than what they were projected to be here. It's a $30,000 profit, or surplus, I should say. Which is good. Like you said, for the solar panels. So, okay. And then we just want to think about any of the other things that might be used. And we can think about for future meetings. We don't have to come up with a decision on this right now. So, why don't we move ahead? Before I'll go with that, and talk about the budget for recreation.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom, thank you so much.
We have some books here from Jack.
Yep.
She has a field wall.
What's sickness going around? Okay. So now,
Their budget from there.
yes, we have their budget here. Great. Okay. So let's take a look at what we have here. I'm just trying to recreation on budget.
Basically, everything's kept the same year over year, and then we always ask for more for maintenance. And we're all talking about it. Just for upkeep, the pond or Elton Lake pond, or the
Right.
building, any of the buildings down at the park and stuff like that.
So it looks like you'd like to increase the salaries, 5801.
I think that increase is just from the actual to what it is, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure on that.
It's up $250.
Yeah. And are there notes on the side of your copy over there too?
Yes, to see what
Okay.
you want to do.
Yeah, 'cause we're like thinking that we have the gate open at Memorial Day instead of waiting that extra like 2 weeks. We do miss like some beautiful days in June, till Labor Day. Yeah. So. I don't know where that affects like salaries or opening and who opens and closes that gate, but the more it's open, the better and the earlier, so people can use it.
And so you're not sure if you open the gate 2 weeks earlier, how much that cost would actually be?
Yeah, I'm not sure even who really opens it anyway, or if it costs somebody. I mean, I'd just go down there and open it if I had a key. If we open it, it doesn't matter.
Well, as long as,
Yeah.
are you thinking opening the concession stand too?
I don't know,
Or not, or just open the gate and let people
Yeah, just
put the
kinda
stuff out and just kinda,
be able to go down there earlier and shut the gate at 7, like, even if it's not, the concession isn't open, but
So will
people could
the
access it.
restroom facilities be open?
Yeah, I think so, or at least open them.
So then you'd have to have somebody manning that.
Yeah, I guess so, I guess that is maybe the idea.
yeah, so
Exactly.
you'd have to open the concessions if you open the restrooms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's something to look into.
Yeah, and that's something I think we're kind of thinking about, like, in terms of maintenance with that building down there, is can we somehow, like, have the bathrooms open more and not have to open the concession stands up and have it separate, so we could do something like that?
Right, right. But right now, as it will be for this year,
Yeah.
if you open the restrooms, you open concessions.
Concessions, yeah.
And one thing that I'm thinking that you might want to think about is
I
that
guess
if
the
you want.
restrooms don't even have to be open, as long as people could drive down there and enjoy some of those
Well,
nice.
honestly, people can walk into the,
Oh, yeah, people do, a lot of people do.
yes,
Yeah, but
without having to open the gate and,
why not open the gate? I mean, for years, I talk about that, it's like, man, everything else opens.
Yeah, just open the
Just
gate.
open the
shut
gate.
everything.
and keep everything else shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
so-
can shut everything else at 7 at night, even if I had a key, I'd open it and
Well,
shut it at night.
why not put a porta potty out there?
That's what I was thinking.
For a
That's
couple
actually what I
$100,
was
it's a lot cheaper than
Yeah.
opening the concession stand.
Yeah.
True.
So
I was
put a
thinking
porta
the same
potty or two
thing.
out there just until the concession stand opens. Because honestly, when you do your work on the building,
Yeah.
you're gonna have, I would think, porta potties out there anyways, because your bathroom's gonna be torn apart.
Right.
And
So-
the other thing that you might want to think about is if you're opening on Memorial Day weekend, maybe because your, people are not out of school yet, you just open it on weekends
Yeah.
until school lets out,
Yeah.
and then you open it for,
Yeah.
Why couldn't the, constable open and close? He's retired, isn't he? Well, I don't know, I'm asking why, I mean, to open the gate in the morning, close the gate in the afternoon. He drives in, makes sure there's nobody there, comes out and closes the gate.
Or Mark.
Well, or you're gonna get a we have someone,
Split the duties.
But are we looking for those situations where that might
I'm looking for
escalate?
somebody to open the
No,
gate.
I know, but the
drive out,
escalation
check,
part of
and
things,
leave and lock the gate.
yeah.
I mean, that's,
right,
No, it's a minimal ask, but I'm just wondering about
right.
if somebody is there and they don't want to leave.
then you go out, you lock the
Yes.
gate, and you drive out. They're only doing it once.
I don't think it'll be a big issue with people. if
No, I
they're
don't think it
down
would
there,
be.
Yeah.
Say this gate closes at 6 o'clock.
Put a sign right on the door, yeah, right on the gate.
If you wanna stay later, drive your car
Yeah,
over to
you
the
can
park.
walk
And walk in, yeah.
That's what we do, just ask them to
People do
park
that all
outside the
the
gate.
time and
Yeah,
do the same thing if you ask them.
Yeah, I'm just,
right,
we might have, might all utilize it if we have it.
right. Okay,
So you're gonna put 10,000 there?
so are we
For
good
the-
with 10,000, it would be up 250.
For the
For
salaries.
5801 Elfin Lake salaries.
So the big question is, do we want to let the maintenance go up as well?
We're talking-
Well, I wasn't quite there yet.
Oh, sorry.
And it looks like we're not discussing 5901.
That's what we just talked about, isn't it?
That's
That's
camp.
Oh,
the camp.
5901? Oh,
Because it looks like that's not on this list right now.
Yeah, it's farther down.
Oh, it's farther down?
Yep.
It's on the other side? No. Because it's on the proposed from the meeting minutes, it looks like,
Well, I mean, if you pull this out, pull your actual budget
oh,
out.
thank you. I've got it, I just buried it.
Yep, and that,
Oh, okay, yep,
Shannon asked that the rec expenses be separated out from
gotcha.
Wallingford Day
So why don't we,
and the summer rec program.
so why don't we look at just rec right now?
Yeah, just do, yeah.
So we're gonna do rec, thank you for that clarification. So moving down to 5803, telephone, 250 is what's being requested. And it was at 300, so I'm okay with putting it at 250.
Yep.
So our actual was 256. Well, I think 250.
I think-
that isn't going down, so.
So,
Like,
do we wanna keep it at the 3?
I would leave it at 3.
So we're gonna leave it at 3.
Those are things we don't have control unless you disconnect it.
Yeah, I don't know, if she might have been thinking of disconnecting in the wintertime or something, but I don't really know
We do.
if she was thinking on that. You do already, so.
Okay. So
Yeah, 'cause some of
now,
that's a reconnect.
exactly, 5804 electric, asking for 250.
We've gotta keep that.
550.
I think we've gotta keep it at the 550.
We spent
Yes,
638.
Julie.
Way off. I'm not sure why they went down, but we're keeping the electric on now. at both places. Is that because of the security systems?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
That's
just
gonna be
went in and looked at all the bills. It's an
What are we
average of
at?
$85 a month,
How much?
85 between the two places.
So 85.
To
The
run?
shed,
Yeah,
So it's like
okay.
1,000.
lake.
In the
so
lake?
That's 1,022.
Oh, yeah.
It's only gonna go up, so.
8.
Sounds like
There,
those
12.
solar panels.
So yes, that's at
More solar
1,020.
panels.
You wanna
So,
go up a bit?
do we want to raise electric? To,
Gonna have to for now.
yeah. Do we want to raise it to 1,100 or
No,
what? 1,000?
well, we spent 638.
Well, Julie just said it's 80.
It's going to go up to
But it's
$1,000.
probably 85 in the summertime, or maybe,
Well, I just took what we paid, because it's on the pay order now.
yeah,
So I just took 6 months' worth and divided that by
yeah.
6 and times it by 12.
Because right now, we're basically at budget.
Right.
So I'm thinking we might need to raise this to, what do people want to raise it to?
Well, we're gonna have to put up at least $1,100, at least.
So I'm thinking, that's what I said, 1,100. Okay. Now, maintenance. This is number 5805.
You want 10 grand?
It
I
was
think we ask for
at,
10 every year, and then we settle somewhere down in the lower range.
We did talk about how,
But
yeah,
if there was some sort of maintenance and some sort of ideas, even if there was money, I don't know if she's asked for like, maybe if that could get rolled over into the next year, if we had some
So we
sort of
have-
program, or
We
we had
have the
some sort of
building,
idea.
the building fund too.
right. I
right.
think that's what we've talked about for,
I think that's
Yeah.
why they haven't opted to, because we have,
So it's currently budgeted at 35. Do you want to keep it at 35 or do we want to make it 4?
That's clay on the fields, that's,
Yeah, so maintenance going forward for the year, I'm trying to think like what we're really gonna be looking for. It'll probably be somewhere like the fences around the, like the park and stuff like that probably are the most beat up, kind of spruce up those. I mean, maybe down, then the rest would be some sort of maintenance towards Elfin Lake, I guess. Probably in like the erosion or something like that, or work to that building, I guess, is really where.
So what do we think? Are we
but
gonna do
that's,
it?
we're trying to get for the grant.
Yeah, so I think that's where it's kind of the,
which-
well, we have a building fund, which is,
So do we just want to level at 35?
Or just give it $500 more and do 4.
That's what I was thinking, either
I would do-
35 or 4.
I would do 4.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that, Rob? If we
Yeah,
put up 500 and we go to 4 for maintenance?
yes.
Okay, so we're going to 4 for maintenance. We are on to 5806, portable restroom. Asking for 1,500 is budgeted at 1,500. So I would say level.
No, well, not if we're gonna put it.
well, if you're gonna put a porta
We're gonna
potty
put a
down
potty-
there.
Oh, no, then we have
Potty in
to, so how
first.
much is that
so
gonna
that'd
be?
be like 2 weeks, probably like another 250 probably, I'd say.
But again, you're gonna start working on your existing bathrooms this summer?
I don't know exactly what the plan is there, because we're kind of thinking if there's some sort of grant or what we're gonna do.
Right.
Right.
If we do something, then yeah. Because then it'd be there full time, yeah. So,
I'd almost plan on leaving it there for the summer. I mean, I don't know how much it is a month, but
Right.
I think it's probably around $100 a week. I think it's about average cost.
We have a bill on there for Hubbard's, for the ball field and,
Where's
the ball field and.
Yeah,
That would be like, what, like, just guesstimating at like another $800 then? If we're adding in another porta potty for 8 weeks?
$330.
For the month.
for the month?
I don't know, it doesn't say. I presume that's a
Well,
month?
that's the transfer station too. Sandy's got the actual bill.
Oh, okay.
Monthly rent is $115,
115.
and then the service is $50.
The 165,
Yep.
say one, yeah.
Per month?
A month.
Yes.
So if we're gonna go for 6 months.
It wouldn't be, it'd be May, or June, July, August, really, so it'd be really 3.
3 months, yeah.
So
Okay,
it'd be like 500.
500,
So put it up to 2 grand.
yeah, put up to 2.
One should be enough out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh.
we're moving the portable
Because
restroom
there's
up
got
to
the-
2.
That's only if it's there full time, if the bathrooms are accessible, then
Yeah.
we might pull it, we'll see.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Lake supplies, it was budgeted at
5.25.
525, asking for 5. I'm thinking of keeping it at the 525.
And what did they spend last year?
Looks like most of it.
653.
No, they didn't spend hardly any of it.
No, they spent $38.
$38. So
$8
then
on the lake supply.
bring it down to the 5?
Year with-
Are we gonna bring it
450.
lower? 450? Are we gonna bring it down to 450?
That's what they just spent now, but they'll spend quite a bit in the spring.
Then why don't we
before-
keep it at what they're asking, the 5?
Hopefully we don't spend it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep it at the 5.
5 or 525?
They were gonna keep it at 5,
Okay.
what they're asking for
All right.
with the 5. And now for 5810, lake concessions. They had 14, they spent most. They are asking for 14. I'm thinking to level it at 14. Does that sound good to everybody?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Did it make it through all the concessions?
Yes, it looks like they did.
Like in terms of like actually like selling all of the concessions. Like if there's a situation, is there anything left over? Or?
Oh, yeah. We sold it here,
Right.
and then we
Okay.
finally gave the last bit away.
Okay.
Okay.
It's hard to determine.
Sometimes
it
we
is,
sell,
yeah.
sometimes we sell the leftover to the football, so then they sell
Oh.
it right from us and.
Okay, cool. Because just wondering about that, like the idea of
We
like
always get rid
if
of
you
it somehow.
put more into it to hopefully push getting more, that'd be nice because it's more revenue coming in. But if that's not the case, then that's not the case.
Okay. So now we are
Better if
on,
People want more variety down there, you know, if they like.
we're on to 5812, which is mowing. It was budgeted 3. Used a good portion of it, asking for 3 again.
Yeah, because you're gonna get a good couple months mowing out
Right before.
before, so, yeah. I'll do it 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now we're moving to youth sports, 5814.
That's, spent it all last year.
Yes.
500, so.
Well, none of it was spent last year.
Oh, no,
Give us
sorry.
the- No,
Nothing of it was spent last year.
I think our plan there was we were gonna build an ice skating rink and with some supplies, so.
Oh.
So, we'll see if we can pull it off.
So do we want to keep it at 5? I mean,
Like,
the
if
worst
If
that's
you
gonna
do an ice
happen.
skating ring this year, you'll do one next year?
Hopefully won't have to spend the $500 again, but hopefully we'll put it into towards something, whether it's like more soccer goals or nets or eventually.
So
maybe
keep it at the 5?
Yeah.
And it sounds like, are we talking about Wallingford Day, or are we gonna go and do that
Well, you still have
separate?
rec programs.
Right, so let's do that. 5817, recreation programs, asking for 500, nothing was spent from this. So,
So that was like
What's
the
the-
movies that you were thinking of doing up in town hall and.
Well, the
that-
movies were funded by a grant, but we
Okay.
wanted to try and do more movies.
Okay.
okay,
And if we did that, we'd probably just use it for youth sports or something like that, if we have to pay for a movie or something like that to go for next summer, which is,
So
I think
just
was pretty
500.
sweet.
so we'll do the 500 there. Okay. So is this now at around 23, 9? Is that where we've got rec budget at for this year? Not including those ones that we didn't discuss?
23.3.
23.3. Is that 23.3? Okay. Yep. Now, next.
Wallingford days.
Okay. So Wallingford Day is requesting 2,500
Yes.
for the proposed budget for the annual event.
Yes.
I'm going to excuse myself
Yes.
because I need to go pick up my son, but thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So they're asking for
25. Here we go, here's the Wallingford Day budget. Okay.
No, they'll want to fundraise for the rest.
What's that?
They would fundraise for the rest.
Fundraise the rest, okay. This is separate. So is it one page for the Wallingford Day budget?
Yes.
This one here? Okay, and they're asking out of this budget that does not seem to have increased at all. Looks like the same budget from last year. They'd like 2,500 from us. So what do we think? Have we given them money in the past?
50?
We gave them 17, so this would be increased about $500.
$750.
$750.
Oh, 750, yes. Sorry. It's getting late. Yeah. So what do we think of that? I guess the question is, let's see.
So we paid for
Yeah, because they were
3,000.
over budget, so they would like us to contribute a little bit more.
I'm fine with that.
Are we good with that?
I think so.
Okay. Are we good with that? So, yes, we're approving the request for the 2,500. Okay. And now the next thing we're looking at, it said something about that there was a summer rec
Yeah.
budget?
Right.
Where is the summer?
So if you go back to this again,
Okay.
it's the three in the middle. The
Oh, okay,
summer rec
thank you.
salaries, field trips, and summer rec expenses. I would, unless you want to reduce any of them, I would
The
level
level,
fund.
okay. So let's see. If we level, that would be 86 for the salaries. 18.
No, 10.
10.
Oh.
5.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong, so it would be 10.
10, 2, and 5.
10 to, that makes it easy. 10 to 5,
Same.
there we go.
Yeah,
Are we good with that?
yeah.
Level it? Okay. And we are level funding summer rec.
So
Yes?
There was some discussion about you folks having the rec having a lifeguard down there this year. If we level fund this, you're not getting a lifeguard this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure on all.
Well, the summer rec is just for their program, so that, they have to have
Okay, gotcha.
It's, yes.
lifeguard.
I think the lifeguard's still in that,
The
but it's
lifeguard
about the
isn't
time
that.
of when they're there, or if they want it.
Right,
They have their
more.
own.
They have their own, right, okay, all right. No, just-
So,
I
yeah,
think they got some good young people that might have done some lifeguard training too, so I think we got some more people to choose from. I'm not
Okay.
100% sure on all this, but.
all right. Okay. So I think then we are done with summer rec.
So just to be clear, that 10,000 for the summer rec salary would include people that she'd hire that would have lifeguard training. And they would be lifeguards while the program's going on.
Yes.
But it wouldn't, yeah, so it wouldn't necessarily pay for
Right,
Lifeguards.
the
on the way.
non-program weeks
exactly,
or weekends.
yes.
That's the thing, is the lifeguard down there on other times.
Right,
I don't think we really need one, because you got your parent, you're there watching your kid.
and we do have the signs that say swim at your own risk.
Right.
No lifeguard on duty.
Right.
Right,
Get a sign. Yeah, I think
Right.
that's some of our maintenance too, we're thinking about some signs here and there. so
Okay.
get that.
right. Okay. So it seems like we have gone through the budget for recreation. Thank you very much.
So I did send an email out to all of you that I put in an extension request with Vermont Emergency Management about the FEMA damage to the field, so hopefully they'll extend the deadline to the end of June.
If not, we just push it around real quick, and snow's on it, take pictures of stuff.
I think it'll be okay though. I think you'll get it.
As long as everything's there, I mean, it's just a matter of man hours moving it around. and
Okay.
it'll be fine in the spring. So I don't think we need more clay or anything, so we should be good.
All right,
So,
okay. They should let me know soon.
awesome. Have a good
Thanks
night,
a lot,
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And moving on, we are on WUV implementation agreement, erosion reduction, Elfin Lake.
Good one.
Just for Kathy to sign up with
Okay. Great,
by consensus.
Yep.
okay. So that's all set, so now we're moving on to the fiscal 26 budget appropriations.
Okay.
And here we go, here are the charitable requests.
Back to this one. You have the chart and then you'll have this one,
Yes,
in addition to your chart.
okay, here we go.
Oh, what they're asking.
Okay, so let's start with the Ralph Stafford Scholarship. 5202.
So we can skip that one from now, it'll depend on what the end of,
That's one
the
that
end of
depends on
year.
the end of
Happy
year.
holidays.
So they table that
Happy
one.
holidays. So that one we have to wait till end of the year.
Right.
Moving on to 5203 VNA and hospice.
Asking for 250, well, yeah, they're asking for 250.
They're asking for 250, and that's what
That's
we've
where
given
it's
them in the
been.
past.
Yep. Leave it.
So we're gonna do the 250. 5204 Southwestern Vermont Council on Aging.
They're asking for 1,000.
They're asking for 1,000,
Say
we've
leave
done
it at
250. We can go over 5205, we're on to 5206, Rutland County Humane Society. They are asking for 250. No, they are asking for 3. That's what we have
Budgeted.
budgeted. So 3 it is. 5207, Rutland Mental Health.
Request, yeah.
What's that?
They haven't asked for anything.
They haven't asked for anything.
So,
So 0? Or do,
I, just
you wanna
being
give
a,
them 250?
being a former employee of Rutland Mental Health when, back in the day, they do amazing work for very little money, so if we can give them $250.
So we'll do the 250, even though they asked for nothing.
Yes.
Moving on to 5208 Brock. They're asking for 5. We've done 250.
Yeah.
So we will do 250. 5209 RSVP in the Volunteer Center. They are asking for 3. We have done 250.
Leave it 250.
Yeah, 250. Mount Holly Rescue Squad will be 0. That was 5211. 5212 Regional Ambulance Service. We've done 750 for them in the past. And they're asking for 11, but we're going to go 750. New Story Center, 5213.
What is that?
Oh, it helps, women.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, women and children, women and families.
Yeah.
We've given them 250 in the past.
Yeah. 250.
250, and I've lost them. There they are. And that's what they're asking for, 250. Now we're on to, VISO, Vermont Center for Independent Living. We've given them 100. They're asking for 280. I think we're gonna be giving them 100. $52.15 Vermont Adult Learning. They're asking for 250, and we give them 250. $52.16 Vermont Association for the Blind. They're asking for 90, and that's what we gave them, was 90. $52.18 Green Up Vermont.
50.
150. $52.19 Rutland Natural Resource Conservation. We've given them 250 in the past. They're asking for 250. 5220 Rutland County Parent-Child Center. We've given them 100. Looks like this year they're asking for nothing.
They haven't submitted anything.
Do we want to give them 100?
They do very
They do.
good work.
Are we good with that, the 100? Okay. 5221 Wallingford flag expense.
So,
So,
we use part of your salary
Yes.
just to get the basics. We only got exactly the number of flags we needed and just one extra pole, one extra bracket. I mean, and it came to, I think
How
my
much?
note said $200 something, $225. I mean,
do we want to increase this to 2?
we have to increase it some because we're not paying.
250.
Why is it a charitable request and not like a regular budget item in our just like town-wide supplies? Just curious.
Question.
Because I mean, because it's not like we're giving, because we used to give it to, no, we're never giving it to somebody to pay for it. We're always paying for it. And it's something that beautifies our town, so I guess.
I didn't hear the beginning of your question.
So for the flags, why isn't that just in the normal expenses for the town?
Why we put it in
I guess that's where it
appropriations.
just was put. You can,
It's just,
if you want to change wherever it's put, that's fine.
It just, because it feels
Instead
like,
of appropriation.
yeah, because it doesn't feel like that. It
He's
feels like
just putting it
more.
over into an operating
Town
expense.
government.
Exactly, yeah.
Is there an operating expense that would fit under?
Under town government. Sure. We'll come up with a number over there. How much did you want to put in?
250.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this next one is already all set. The Irving Smith Scholarship. We're moving on to 5227. Advocacy Resources Community. They're asking for 5. We have given them 100. Are we good with 100?
Yes.
5228, the Preservation Trust of Vermont. They're asking for 100. This is what we've given them in the past. 5231, American Red Cross.
I think this is one we've talked about in the past, it's like, why do we give?
They didn't ask for anything this year.
No.
Yeah.
So, do we want to do what they've asked for? Just nothing?
Yeah, I think you gotta ask.
Okay.
Okay, zero.
You know,
Then we'll
I
keep,
mean, they do good, they do make good things.
They do good,
Yes.
yeah, for
The
sure.
problem is only, what, 20 cents on the dollar actually goes to
right.
Right.
what, you know, to what they're doing. I mean, the rest of it is all
Yeah.
red tape and administrative costs,
Yeah.
so.
So I think, is everybody okay with 0?
Yes.
maybe we'll get a request next year.
Maybe we will. 5232, Vermont Rural Fire Protection Task Force. They are asking for 200. We have given them 100 in the past. Are we good with 100?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 5233, Child First Advocacy.
The
They-
Vermont Family Network, I think you jumped.
Oh, yes, I did. Oh, because they're switched.
Okay. I'm
So
sorry, I'm
let's do
looking at
Child
that.
First Advocacy, and Child First Advocacy has asked for nothing. Do we want to give them the 100 that we have in the past?
How
They didn't
often
ask
do
for
they-
anything.
Have they been asking for it? Are they showing up every year?
They've asked every year except for this year.
Is that a local
Yes,
organization? or
Child
not?
First Advocacy
Yeah.
local,
Yes.
they probably do good work.
Right, so,
So-
like American Red Cross, it's like international,
right,
yeah.
Exactly.
versus-
So
yeah.
why don't we do the 100 for Child
Okay.
First? Now Vermont Family Network. They're asking for 500. We've given them 100 in the past.
100.
Vermont Council on Rural Development. They're asking for 250. We've given them 100. 100 is shall stay. Rutland County Restorative Justice Center.
So I contacted them the other day, and I have emailed all of these organizations multiple times, reminding them. But Vermont, the Restorative Justice, I emailed them again last week, and they said they thought that they had submitted something last October, and she was gonna check into it, but she hasn't gotten back to me, so
100.
maybe, yeah, level fund
So
that.
we'll do the 100 for them. NeighborWorks of Western Vermont. We've done 100 for them.
Asking for 5.
They're asking for 5. Are we good with 100?
Yep.
And then the Nelson Tiff Scholarship, 100.
Okay, good.
And I think that's appropriations.
Alright, that's it, yeah.
They are.
Getting it happy.
Okay. Now, moving on. Municipal website upgrade.
Nothing you need to think about tonight,
Alright.
but this is something you should definitely think about if we wanna budget for an upgrade.
Is it working at all?
It's working,
It
Yeah.
is.
and,
No.
but I think it just needs to be upgraded.
Yeah.
It needs just working on it a bunch, like, it needs a restructuring, it needs an update to the theme. The theme is from, Vermont Digital, and it's not one that's getting updated, so that leaves us up to quite a bit of security risks, because people could exploit things, and it's been around for a while, so.
Then I can see why we might want to consider updating it, and there is some money available for this. through, it looks like through the ARPA fund.
Well, I mean, if we wanna, I mean, is that sort of, I mean, that's, would fall in line with cybersecurity, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure, in some respects, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's money in that, we set aside in the ARPA funds, 26 for that, and so that's one
So we could
option.
update it with some of that money.
Yeah, I think, but what we're thinking of, like, just in terms of like when I work on sites, like, and create them, we're looking probably about $3 to $4 grand. Just about work, because there's a lot there's a lot of pages, there's a lot of restructuring that has to go on. And if we want to add in anything, whether or not we want to add in municipal paying or anything else like that, try to integrate those things. It's going to be, yeah. So thinking about that in terms of, that would be a budget that I would put forth.
Okay.
Something like that, depending on, but thinking about what we would want out of the site and what we wanted to do into the future,
Okay.
that kind of a thing.
So I think this is something we should discuss.
Yeah.
Maybe not at this meeting, but at a future one, when we get past. Okay.
Oh, but do we want to authorize him to do
We
that?
Want to do that, yep.
So the navigation menu's gone, and I could not figure out exactly how they had set it up, so.
Okay. And that'll be a good interim, we'll fix this immediately. and
Well,
then-
yeah, just make it so the site is
Right.
workable.
Yeah,
Right.
make it workable, and then we'll bring this up at a future meeting?
Yes.
Okay. And for further discussion?
Right.
Okay. Great. Moving on, tree planting grant, tree warden.
Tree warden, yeah. So, no match grant, so I can get paid for putting the trees, and I think we can put 8 in for $5,000, and we're looking at places to put them. And this comes up every year. There's a grant almost every year. You know, by getting this grant, I haven't made it so we can't get it again.
Great.
Okay?
Great.
That'll-
So you're gonna apply for the grant?
Yeah,
Okay,
Right.
Go for it.
we approve.
yeah.
Okay, moving on to,
No, it's 2026. No, go ahead.
all right. Moving on to select board comments and concerns.
Where did the camera end up going? Or did she take it out? I
It's
see we
out.
See, we got a hole in the wall out there.
Yeah, it's out, and then he's waiting to do the electrical with, when Bill finishes his part, he's gonna run along with the same stuff.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And
And
he's
that looks
gonna
like,
do something with our
that's actually under other business.
frost hole. I see a hole in the wall, that's why I'm asking.
Oh, that's true about that.
Okay.
Kind of a
Yes,
large hole
There's-
in the wall.
there is a hole. Yep. Yep,
Oh,
okay.
that's his.
Okay. Anything else? So in other business, we already covered the first item. There may be funding available in January for the young family.
Find out about that.
And we'll
in January.
find out
This is
about
the one out
that.
on 103.
Yes,
That was just the land and not the actual
Yes.
structure.
right,
The old Evening Song Farm.
that's right.
Other news, for fiscal year 26 budget schedule below, administration, insurance, and revenue will be on January 6th, 2025. And there we go.
Your motion?
I'll make a motion to it.
There you go.
Second.
All in favor? We are adjourned.